Good morning. Welcome to Quantum's Liberty Day. We're doing a DeStress series, and today on the phone, I have Elizaveta, who is just turned 16 last week. Happy birthday. Good morning, birdies. There's your water. So, hope this day is finding you well. Today on the phone is Elizaveta. Her mom is a respiratory therapist in North Dakota. And North Dakota is having, I could put this crutch here, quite the surge around the country and the world for coronavirus. So today we're going to start tapping on the karate chop point here. I'll be describing the points for Elizaveta because she's not very familiar with it. So first off, this is the karate chop point, or side of the hand point, and it just goes right along the side. And you can do either side. You can go like this, all right? That's called the side of hand point. But if you see me tapping here, then you tap too. So why go to the amusement park if you don't go on the rides, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're tapping. And then this is right here inside the eyebrow, right where the hair ends. You take 3 fingers so that you get the point, and you just go up and down, not this way, but up and down right on the inside of the eyebrow, right there on that bone. And then outside the eyebrow, right here, you tap right here, up and down again, not like this, but use 3 fingers so you definitely get that point. The acupressure point is 5,000-year-old meridian endpoints. This one is on the bone under the eye. You can do both. You can do one or the other if you only have one hand. This one is under the nose right here. And then the chin point is right underneath your mouth where that little line is. So you just tap right there. Collarbone point goes, you follow this collarbone point, this bone right here, go down about 1 inch and then outside about 1 inch to your shoulders. And I usually use all 5 fingers, so I definitely get that point right there. That's the collarbone point. And then under the arm point is about 1 hand length underneath the armpit. So for women, it's the bra line. And then the top of the head point. We'll start with that. Those are the acupressure points, acupuncture meridian points. Sorry. So tapping on these points, this one in particular, will block the flow of neurons, help to slow the flow of neurons to the amygdala, which is our fight or flight system. And with tapping, what we want to do is we want to be able to embrace all the feelings that we're having inside of us. So we're doing a DeStress series. This is day 97 of the series, and we're heading towards mid-February, where hopefully the pandemic will slow down. And if it doesn't slow down, we'll just continue on again at that point. But so the data said that we were going into 16 weeks, so I started at 16 weeks, and today is day 97. So keep on tapping and nice deep breaths while we're talking. We're going to talk about the news, what's going on with coronavirus, because what we want to do is we want to take in the news. We want to be experiencing and embracing any overwhelm, but at the same time tapping on all those images that are pretty scary and frightening. And by tapping on those images, what we're doing is we're stopping and slowing the flow of neurons to the amygdala. And instead of the amygdala sending out cortisol and adrenaline and oxygen down to our arms and legs to run from the danger, or perceived danger and actual danger, the oxygen will stay in our prefrontal cortex, which is our area of self-awareness, and then we can choose what's the next best thing to do from that point. Right now, the data, according to 17 different organizations in the world, underneath the World Health Organization and all the peer-reviewed science, is that masks are extremely important. Social distancing is very effective, as well as washing your hands with soap for 20 seconds, because the virus has a lipid-soluble membrane. And so when you wash your hands with soap, you can break down that membrane for 20 seconds, though. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Most important is the mask, and that Dr. Fauci is the head of the National Task Force. Well, Mike Pence is, but Dr. Fauci is the epidemiologist, MD, who says he would really like to see a national mandate for masks. And the reason for that is because the masks help to keep the virus, if you have it, in, away from other people. And then if the virus is floating by on the air, which it does more freely on the colder air, according to research, then we can protect ourselves from getting this virus, and then reduce the amount of people in your community who will get the virus, and therefore keep the numbers of people out of the hospital, so that our hospitals can be safe and all the people who work there can be safer. So Elizaveta, what we want to do with tapping is we want to acknowledge, my dear, that yes, there is fear inside of you. And when they have the tapping going, so what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to have that fear. You own that fear. And you're also saying, when you're owning that fear and tapping like this, you're allowing yourself to feel that fear freely and safely, right? And if you have to talk to somebody, I want you to talk with someone like you. I know you have your therapist too that you talk to. Your mom and dad are really supportive of that. That's very important. So, but the tapping, if you have a sense of fear about something, you can tap right here. And the most important thing is that when this slows down the firing to reduce, to send out cortisol and adrenaline and run. When it slows it down, instead, your oxygen stays in your prefrontal cortex, so you can think instead, all right, so I just need to stay home. I need to put on a mask. I need to wash my hands, or if I'm out and about and I feel like I might have gotten virus in my hair, take a shower, lather up for 20 seconds with the soap and just stand there and wait, and then you'll put all your clothes in the washing machine when you get home, leave your shoes outside or right by the door on a mat that you can wash. So there are so many things that we can do that if we know about them, we can do that. So when you having fear inside of you, it's really important to also know that yes, there is fear inside of you, but you have your back, right? We're doing the tapping so that you can feel that also inside of you is courage. And then yes, there might be anger inside of you for people who are not telling the truth. Like some of our policymakers are not telling people to wear masks, especially where Elizaveta lives in North Dakota. Yikes, right? So, but inside of you, there's anger, right, about that. Keep on tapping. But inside of you also there is forgiveness. And you can do the right thing. You can spread the word about what is the right thing to do for people around you, and spread the word as much as you can. This is what we need to do to keep our hospitals less full, and that will keep my mom alive, right? Because she's working in respiratory therapy and she's scared, all right? And I know that's very hard for you. It's confusing. So I want you to embrace that confusion also. And also know inside of you, in addition to that confusion, Elizaveta's on the phone right here with me. So in addition to that confusion, there's also clarity inside of you. You know what you have to do. You can spread the word about, even though some people might not understand or for some reason trust science, or maybe it has to do with money. I don't know. Like, who knows why these barriers get set up to listening to the truth from healthcare personnel who use these data to define the practice of what to do in medicine. So Elizaveta knows that her mom is wearing a mask and gloves and a gown and hood and booties, and so she's really protecting herself. And that kind of says something about how virulent and how contagious and how dangerous the virus is. So let's just do what we need to do. Let's address the news. Let's talk about overwhelm. Let's just do it. And we'll tap on it at the same time. And then we're going to envision radiant health. And we're going to envision it, but first we're going to tap. We always tap by envisioning the chaos inside of us, embracing it and loving ourselves exactly for all the power that we have within ourselves. So when we're tapping, we can slow down and almost bring down that veil or chaos, right? So that you can actually see and feel, most importantly, you'll feel the clarity and you'll feel the forgiveness and you'll feel the courage. And the reason that happens is because biochemicals are released. Things like dopamine and serotonin and anandamide and nitric oxide and oxytocin, all these beautiful neurochemicals, neurotransmitters, and hormones start moving around in your body as well. This is a very powerful practice, and it's just breakthrough technology that we can use. So if you'd like to, Elizaveta wants to do this, so we're going to do it. We're going to talk first about the news. So greater than 1,000 deaths every day since November 3. And we have North Dakota at Trinity Health. The chief of staff is Dr. Jeffrey Sather, Sather. And apparently entire floors are filled with COVID-19 patients, and they cannot transfer the patients because other large hospitals and small hospitals in the area are already full. So Elizaveta and, of course, Dr. Sather is really worried about his staff, according to the staff at the New York Times, because they're seeing people suffocate every day with coronavirus. So right now in Europe, to also address that, keep on tapping because this is overwhelming, and we want to tap on that overwhelm. We want to have that experience of reading and knowing this stuff so that we can do the right thing. So keep on tapping and nice deep breaths. Here we go. U.S. is 2 weeks behind Europe, and in Europe, Italy has a lockdown of 6 regions. Poland just opened up a field hospital in a stadium. Ukraine has a national mask mandate. Hungary is in a state of danger. Paris closed restaurants and any ordering of food from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But England also has lockdown. And some of the shops and businesses are flouting the rules, although they were paying attention to them in the spring. So it's not looking as good in England right now. But also they've had record deaths in France, Germany, Portugal, Romania, and of course Poland, with the extra hospital opened up. Denmark slaughtered millions of, this is very sad, slaughtered millions of farmed minks because they are concerned about a viral mutation that is very deadly. And then in the U.S., we've had record numbers also continuing, including the Department of Defense sent 3 teams to El Paso. And Kansas, South Dakota, and Utah had recorded record deaths yesterday. So, or today. Yeah. So let's now envision ourselves in radiant health in the midst of all of this. So we're tapping to de-stress, and we know that tapping for 10 minutes and also meditating for 1 week only reduces our cortisol levels 37%, and it raises your immunoglobulin levels 113%. Yes, especially the IgAs of the respiratory tract, which is where coronavirus in some of the situations really likes to go. So we know what to do. Don't give it, don't get it, and know it's airborne and very dangerous, right? And let's start with tapping to imagine ourselves in radiant health, envision that, and then I want you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Envision yourself in radiant health, all right? Now, Elizabeth, just tune into, and anyone watching, tune into where in your body it's feeling very tense. And then, like, there's a resistance to having that radiant health. And then give it a number, 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest resistance to having that radiant health, and 0 being no resistance at all. And then just write that in the air, and you can then open your eyes and start tapping. And repeat after me. So, even though I have this resistance to radiant health, I deeply and completely forgive, trust that I have my own back, accept, and I love myself exactly as I am. Even though I have this resistance to radiant health, I deeply and completely love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even though I have this resistance in the form of fear and of anger and of confusion, I deeply and completely love myself, and I accept all of me exactly as I am. Inner eye, this resistance. Outer eye, this resistance to radiant health. Under the eye, I feel this resistance is so strong. Under the nose, I'm running from this resistance. Chin point, I feel this resistance. Collarbone, I hold and honor this resistance. Under the arm, I'm very confused about this resistance. Top of the head, this resistance to the radiant health. Inner eye, I deserve radiant health. Outside the eye, I deserve love and joy. Under the eye, I deserve healthy life in the middle of this pandemic. Nose, I deserve a healthy life in the middle of this pandemic. Chin point, I deserve health with or without COVID-19 in my environment. Collarbone, I deserve radiant health. Under the arm, I deserve radiant health of mind, body, and spirit. Top of the head, I see myself walking in radiant health. Inside the eye, I see myself talking in radiant health. Outside the eye, I am talking with radiant health. Under the eye, I am perceiving with radiant health. Nose, I am vibrantly healthy in my body. Chin point, I'm flooded with lovely hormones and neurotransmitters. Collarbone point, I am radiant health. Under the arm, I am talking and walking and perceiving in radiant health. Top of the head, I walk, talk, and believe in radiant health in mind, body, and spirit. Right here, right now. Sign me up. All right. Have a great day. Thanks for bringing this to our attention.